Welcome, Alterers and Switchy Sisters alike, to episode 17 of the weekly episodic gaming adjacent live stream podcast show. This is Switch 2 Ultra, live on Monday nights after the weekend. In recent weeks, this show seems to have deviated from its original purpose, which was the Nintendo speculation cycle. It exists so that years down the line, we won't have to do as much research, and I could simply jump in any week to see what was the hot story of the week. Making these more streamlined will make them more consumable and easier to edit and upload on time. But for the record, I thought Fantastic Four was fine, Stugo is A tier, and Rick and Morty is a mixed bag. Oh?
I saw Superman. That was pretty good.
Oh, you liked it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah.
Where would you rank that amongst your year of movies for 2025?
I've seen like 2 movies that came out this year.
What was the other one?
I'm just not that kind of guy. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't even remember.
So Superman's the best one.
I guess the movie that I was in, that one came out this year. I guess technically it hasn't premiered. But I mean, regarding a lot of other contemporary superhero movies, I mean, it definitely doesn't have a lot of, because I've seen a handful of the DC EU movies or whatever.
Oh, boy.
Those always struggled to be like good. So this is definitely a step above for those, and you can definitely tell like James Gunn worked on it. So I mean, I had a good time with it.
Yeah, I think that was my main takeaway from Fantastic Four, is that I thought both of them were pretty okay to good. I thought that Superman was better. And I think the main difference is that Superman feels like a James Gunn movie, whereas Fantastic Four, while it does have its own sort of structural integrity, it does still feel like a Marvel movie. That first act is really its own world, and then later on I'm like, okay, we're doing this again.
For sure.
Business as usual. However, today we have a lot to discuss. I actually went into the depths of YouTube, Twitter, and even returned to reddits.com. So much has happened, allegedly, since we last met up, and now is the perfect time to discuss. Because, welcome to the Switch 2 Ultra family. I'm your co-parent, BH Ultra.
I am your co-parent, Switchy.
Yesterday, I posted a teaser for my upcoming yearly Total Drama video, Total Drama Island Online. And I forgot that a lot of the Total Drama fans who only watch me once a year seemingly don't know that I do teasers or what a teaser is, and have been thrown into a sort of a tizzy. I don't know if you've ever... I feel like we've discussed this before, dealing with the... on the opposite end of the wrath of the Total Drama fan base. I feel like I get a lot more of the negative aspects sometimes. Because it's always a select few people. It's something I want... I play up the bit that, like, I'm being forced to do this, and I'm not. I choose to do a Total Drama a year. Is it a little upsetting that people only watch the Total Drama ones? I guess, but, you know, that's to each their own. Like, I make a bunch of stuff each year. There are regular people that are just going to watch a video a year, but that's why I make videos in those different subsects so people can do that. That's why I also work myself to the bone to do so. But you get like 1 or 2 comments that are like, stop doing this, make the next Total Drama thing. And it makes me want to just out of spite be like, you know what? No, I'm not making it. It's fully done. It's fully edited. I'm not uploading it. I'm scrapping the whole thing because of you. But since we last spoke in this... Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I think you told me, like, occasionally you'll tell them, like, yeah, I was going to finish the video, but now I'm just not going to upload it.
I used to do that. Every time someone would comment, like... Asking when the next Total Drama video is, that's, like, slightly annoying, but that's fine, I guess, because that's at least a genuine question. The people are like, why are you doing this? You should be making Total Drama. That gets more views. I used to reply to those, like, every time someone says this, it's getting extended another month. But now people have come to expect it every end of July, and I really had to get this one in under the end of July. It's I wouldn't call it a short video, but it's short in the retrospective recent videos, so it's a nice little palate cleanser. I'm gonna try and write less because it was way more fun to edit and a lot easier on my work load at the very least. But since we last spoke in this booth, I imagine we've each played some more Donkey Kong Bonanza. I suppose I only got up to about 5 or so hours further than the last time we talked, but how did you fare? Did you play any Bonanza since the last time we talked?
Similar amount to you. I'm loving it. It's you know, as I said, like, I'm playing this game and I'm like, damn, I'm surprised games like this still exist, you know?
Yeah.
It's easy to feel like, oh yeah, no, there are no fun games that come out anymore, even though that's obviously like not true. It's easy to feel like we're just not doing it the same way. People have been saying we haven't been doing it the same way since, you know, people have been saying things.
You couldn't make a game like Bonanza today, you know?
Yeah,
if you try to make a game like Bonanza
we
today,
don't know how to do
you.
it anymore.
So without,
like,
oh no, go ahead.
No, yeah, so it's easy to say that, but yeah, no, this game, it's like, I guess the Odyssey team in general, they just know how to do it. At least for me, like they just do what they just do what they need to do. Just like bring me untold amounts of joy and pleasure and fun, etc., etc.
Nintendo should invest in casinos because I think they really have hit the perfect market. They found the sweet spot on how to constantly make you not want to put the game down. Very addicting. The Bonanza's the game, like, since Odyssey, and I guess, like, Tears of the Kingdom a little bit, where I have a goal, I set a waypoint, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go there. And then I get sidetracked doing, like, a dozen other things.
Yeah.
So, like, without accidentally spoiling each other, last time you said you were on the Lagoon layer. How many layers have you passed since then?
2 or 3. It depends, because there's like sub layers and stuff. It's hard to tell. Like, oh, is this like the whole thing?
Well, what have you seen? I'll you just list them in order, and then I'll stop you when I haven't gotten there.
So I think I'm about to go into like a smokestack area or whatever. So I've been in like the mining area for a while. It's longer than I thought it was gonna be.
So you just left the hilltop area? The like big field?
No. I've been in the mining area for a while, but there's like a lot of little sections of it. So
no, I mean like that area is after the hilltop layer, right?
Yeah. So I'm completely done with the hilltop layer.
Okay.
Or maybe there might be like a couple moons I haven't gotten. But yeah, I'm going slow because I'm like kind of a completionist.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of the completionist. Yeah, there's one bit because I'm a little further, so I won't say much. But I, as you know, don't like progressing through something until I've gotten everything in that level. And when I said that when we were all playing together, Dan and Wyatt sort of went like, "Ooh, I don't know." So maybe there's something we don't know yet, but. There's one banana and one fossil in the, what's it called? It's the canyon layer is I think below the hilltop layer that I had to leave and then come back. But the reason I left is a whole different thing. But I'll hold on to that. And then we'll, I suppose, discuss more Donkey Kong. We'll just do our little weekly increments. I think come August, I'll probably be playing it a little less. Because instead of it being like what I play every day, it'll just be like the regular Thursday stream because I want to start opening up other stuff. But I'm sure at a certain point we'll get spoiled on something. I've seen like maybe 1 or 2 things, but for the most part, like for a game that's now like 2 weeks old, people have been rather respectful about it, or they just aren't talking about it as much as we thought they might be.
I think I'm just like, I just know where to look and where not to look these days. Like as a kid, I would rush through games so I didn't have anything like ruined for me, but
yeah. As a kid, I would, specifically with like Pokemon games, every time I would get so X and Y were the first ones that were released worldwide the same day. So all the games before that, which is honestly really just black and white, and that's a potential video unto itself, sort of like the Total Drama one, that I watched so many Let's Plays and walkthroughs of the game in Japanese, like before it came out here. And I would write notes because I would watch people play through the entire game without understanding any of the dialogue. So by the time I planned out my team by like which routes had which Pokemon even before we had the game, like as a solemn nation. And I do that all the time with Pokemon games, like even ones that are older. Like when I got Sapphire, I just loaded up a walkthrough and was so meticulous I would like follow the steps to a T. And I never used repels as a kid. And some of the people doing walkthroughs would just edit out wild encounters. So every time I ran into a wild encounter, I would have to frantically pause the video and then like run away or battle it and then unpause it. So I was following exactly. I don't know if I was dumb or just scared. But now I try and go out of my way to not follow or just not look at anything at all. I like going in blind.
Yeah.
Sometimes it costs me. I did see, it's exciting. Potentially. I don't know how I feel about it. To see, it happened with Doom the Dark Ages not too long ago. I'm glad he's still around. There's a lot of people who, I think when there's a general opinion when it comes to disliking things, that you disliking something means you wish it like didn't exist. Same thing when I talk about, movies, shows, games, anything. If I dislike something, I'm not like preying on its downfall or hoping it gets canceled or wish it never existed. I hope they make 5 more seasons of Velma. I don't care. I didn't like Inside Job, but it's a shame what happened to it. And I think the same applies to other creators, where some people have sort of a moral high ground to people who are at best like annoying. Anyway, all that to say, I saw people post Darkside Phil clips for Doom the Dark Ages and now for Donkey Kong Bonanza. And the posts are going viral, and there's a group of people being like, I don't know who this guy is, but I keep seeing him like fuck up at games. And it makes me I have mixed feelings about it. On one hand, it's like, well, all these people are unknowingly watching Darkside Phil clips. And the part of me is like, man, I can't believe they don't know Darkside Phil. But for someone I don't think I would get along with and understand is a dickhead, I'm glad he's still around, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it gives me a sense of, I don't know, comfort knowing that people like that are still around doing stuff, even if people hate them, that they're still around and kicking. You know, Low Tier God's still streaming, and I don't commend them for that, but I'm glad they're still doing it.
Yeah.
So I've seen that
there's something reassuring about knowing that Low Tier God still has like a market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's still an audience, you know?
Even if it's all the people watching him are like haters and they're all making their own like edits of him, he's still...
Oh yeah, that's probably the case with Darkside Phil.
Yeah, it helps with the biodiversity of the ecosystem. Yeah, it's an important model of the YouTube ecosystem. He needs to constantly exist there. By the way, I'm going to throw over to this screen now. I believe the name, at least the name here in English, is Ikaboze. And this person, I think was this is only 2 days ago, so I'm not sure, was... to my understanding, the first person documented to destroy an entire layer, and this is a really early layer, dedicating and making that video, that stream. I don't know if you know this, but Ikabuze, this is also the person who beat Breath of the Wild at the Nintendo Switch 2 Experience kiosk. So I don't know if we covered this story on this show, but yeah, they had the kiosk there was like, oh, you could play Breath of the Wild 2 Switch 2 edition, or sorry, Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition. And as I'm sure you know, in Breath of the Wild, if you're skilled enough, you could technically beat the game. And like, I mean, this is a 11-minute video. Right? I imagine it's heavily edited, but you could beat the game in the allotted time. I just remember hearing that story.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can just go straight for the castle and just, you know, fight Ganon or whatever. At least
I'm sure it takes a while to do that, but I've seen a lot of memes comparing Bonanza to Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom. I imagine that's what this image here is. But it made me interested, because we can look at the numbers without being actually spoiled as to what happens. I actually wanted to check out the speedrun leaderboards for Bonanza, since it's been out for a couple weeks now and is now accepting speedruns, and we could check this intermittently, like every week, and see how stuff has changed.
That's fun.
Right now,
I remember someone saying sub 1 hour soon, or something like that.
Yeah, well, these top 4 are all like seconds apart.
Okay.
And all the
so
way
it's
through
competitive right now.
Yeah, all the way through like the top 20 it's just an hour and a half.
Oh wow.
I feel like I'm 18 hours into this game and I'm not even close.
True, but I mean, I think a lot of the Nintendo game. Well, I mean, Odyssey was like this DK Bonanza, where like the amount of moons or bananas you need is actually very, very little. I actually don't even know. I mean, so far I haven't had to be like been told, oh, you don't have enough bananas yet. You can just follow the banana. Excuse me, the banana bunches.
This is also any percent,
for most of the game,
which I guess you probably could just run to the end. 100%. Oh no, 100% speedruns yet. But we'll check back here intermittently. Right now, Zay is in the lead. There's a little American conglomerate here. We're making up 4th through 9th. And then we have Canada treading behind. But these top 3, again, like seconds apart. The difference between 1st place and 4th place is 30 seconds. Oh, and these were uploaded today.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, no, I mean, it's healthy right now, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I wrote down my notes and made a little document with links and everything. So I'm trying to be more immersive with this, going in the order of operations when it comes to the week that we missed, or rather the week between episodes. And obviously we had our last episode on Monday, which takes us to the next day, which was Tuesday, and the Pokemon Presents. Now, did you end up watching most of the Pokemon Presents, or all of the Pokemon Presents?
Yeah, I watched it live. I watched it live.
Live? Oh, did you regret that?
It was like 9 a.m.
That's early for me, dude. If I woke up then and I started streaming and then I watched that, I would be pissed. I'm kind of glad I didn't. But it was mainly showing off a bunch of mobile games, some of which are also paid games on the Switch too, or maybe also the Switch. This game, Pokemon and Friends, seems to be just a pretty average mobile puzzle game, but I think it has a paid version on the Switch. I don't know what's different with the paid version. Maybe it just doesn't have ads, or maybe you can unlock more plushes, but I haven't heard great things, even though these are the kind of puzzles that I would like. Just seems really easy to kind of slap Pokemon over anything. Really into this mobile market. And
well, that's one of the things that I was like kind of surprised by. I think we talked about this the other day on the Mario Party stream, or not Mario Party stream.
Right.
Was like, you have a lot of people saying, man, I hated this direct. It was just like a little bit of information about the new game, along with like a bunch of mobile games and like little kind of small side games and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's what Pokemon Presents have been since like 2018, probably earlier. Like, yeah. I don't know what people are like so surprised about.
I mean, I said it last week. I didn't expect anything from this anyway. I actually got slightly more than I thought we would get, at least in the reference to ZA. But we also got the trailer.
ZA? I mean, I definitely was.
I expected them to show off ZA. I didn't expect them to show off like anything substantial at all.
Oh, I'm surprised
they at least put a little bit in there.
I assumed this was going to be the Mega Evolution reveal. I wasn't sure if they were going to do more. I'm actually a little surprised they only did one.
It's strange that they did one.
But I guess, you know, they're trying to drip feed it to us, I suppose. But
the game comes out in what, come August it will be 2 months. Yeah. More or less, give or take. Let's round up to 3. The trailer for the second season of their stop-motion animated series, and then another teaser for another stop-motion animated series that releases, can I get this date here? 2027. And every time I brought this up to people in a call, I was like, why would they show this off? This is coming out in 2027. And everyone's like, what do you have a problem with Aardman stop-motion Pokemon? I think people were misappropriating my annoyance to be, oh, why are they showing this off? I don't want to see this. More so I know that stop motion takes a long time. And that was the other thing, is like, well, you need to build up hype, or stop motion takes a long time. That's fine. I'm not arguing with the release date. It coming out 2027 is fine. I just don't know why they showed it to us right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, when it comes to like TV shows and movies, I think people kind of announce stuff at a different schedule. But at least, yeah, with Nintendo games specifically, usually they'll announce stuff within the year. I mean, even ZA was kind of like a weird kind of deviation with them announcing the game effectively like almost 2 years before it actually comes out. Like I think that's
just because they had nothing to announce last year.
Yeah, that might be it. I guess that's why they like really didn't show anything off. They just kind of showed off like a little like teaser trailer.
But yeah, no, I have no problem with this. I love Aardman. I'm glad they're just doing Shaun of the Sheep, but with Pokemon instead. Pokemon, but with animals instead. It's this part that, I don't want to say piss me off, but like, it's that meme from Uncut Gems where he says, why are you showing it to me if I can't have it? Pokemon Champions allows you to transfer your Pokemon from other games through Pokemon Home, but also you can use rental Pokemon like any other stadium game. And I'm not sure, I think it's maybe, they're showing the rental Pokemon here. There's a training aspect of it. No, go ahead.
It seems like they simplified EV training and EV spreads, because I think it's only out of like 61 or something now. And also, it seems to be like, I think there was like someone saying, I haven't watched like a lot of analysis videos on it, but it seems that like IVs were taken out or something like that, or at least all the Pokemon are like locked to having max IVs, which actually sometimes isn't ideal. I mean, historically for hidden power, because hidden power's tight, depends on your IVs, but nowadays it's more so that you just generally, if you're running a special attacker, you want to have minimum physical attack IVs, so you don't take as much damage when you're confused or hit by foul play. But that element of game, also trick room teams, occasionally you'll want your Pokemon to be as slow as possible, so that kind of element of like training is kind of taken out for whatever that matters. I mean, some people might be disappointed by that, but honestly, like, sometimes it feels like IVs are just busy work in Pokemon. I think historically one of the biggest obstacles to legal, I guess, quote unquote, official Pokemon competitive playing is that the amount of time it takes to like set up a technically optimal Pokemon is just forever. You have to do so much busy work within the games and stuff like that. So, I don't know.
I think the first glimpse we saw of it was a double battle, but maybe this is just clever editing, but these looked to be one-on-one battles. So if they're striving for something more competitive, I mean, Pokemon Showdown does do 1v1s, but I mean, most competitive rules for okay, here's double battles. But I don't know, do you think, because this is a mobile game, do you think this is going to be a free game?
I think so. I mean, I'd be surprised if it isn't.
Right, so that
but
brings
I
up
think
this
they might
point.
Monetize it another way. I
Yeah,
think what it might be,
this EV training, whatever's going on here, they all have this thing here. This is like a V-Box, I guess this costs 64, 200, and the player character has 4,000 in the top right. But this part of the trailer, it looks like the player is using some kind of in-game currency to train their Pokemon. Whether or not these will be paid with real-life microtransactions, only time will tell, but I wouldn't put it past them.
That's what I assume they're gonna do, honestly. But it's funny because honestly, like that's like not that bad of a deal, all things considered, at least for like people who are really into competitive Pokemon. Because I'm pretty sure some players they'll like hire people to train Pokemon for them, like legally in XYZ Pokemon and like train them to these like EVs and shit
XYZ
like that.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Say that again. Consider, but. If it is a free mobile game and it's just built for battles, like I expected the meat of the gameplay to be battles, that's fine. But I was kind of hoping for like a dedicated campaign. Not something akin to Coliseum or XD, but like Stadium or Battle Revolution where you just play through like NPC battles so that you don't need to be online for it. But if this is likely just a free mobile game, I guess this is fine. I probably won't get it. I don't think I need it for anything really.
Yeah.
The appeal of stadium-like games
I've never really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I've never really gotten into competitive VGC formats. Like I've always just been like a Smogon singles on Pokemon Showdown guy.
Ooh.
So I'm not like super, you know, what's the word? Like, fucking like super enticed. But you know, I think it's gonna be interesting for the direction of competitive Pokemon as a whole.
Yeah, I think the appeal of games like Stadium and Coliseum early on was seeing your Pokemon from your mainline RPGs in 3D battling like this. But this actually looks arguably worse than the mainline Pokemon games because it needs to run on phones. So it's sort of the opposite. Yeah. Like there's no like, oh, I'm going to transfer my team from Scarlet or my team from Shield into this game and watch them battle. That would be fun if there was a dedicated, I don't need the campaign to be long, just like, you know, battle something. Just put random trainers in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was always... Because I like the idea of there being a new Stadium-esque game. And they could use... Because the Monkey's Paw Curls. I remember Red and Blue and Wally showing up in Sun and Moon. And then a bunch of those other evil team leaders showing up. And I'm like, oh, okay, we don't need to see all this. I'm tired of Red showing up. He shows up too often now. Where the... Nintendo Switch, aside from the remakes, of course, the Nintendo Switch mainline Pokemon games, they haven't really had returning characters, which is something interesting later in ZA. So I was like, oh, they could bring back all of these NPCs, these, I was going to say romanceable, these battleable characters in Pokemon, you know, all the gym leaders, Elite Four members, what have you, and do a Stadium-esque game where you just battle through all of them using your teams. And I still really like that idea. This isn't quite what I want from that, but I'm sure people who are leaning more into the competitive viability of it will enjoy it. I understand that Pokemon is a huge franchise, so they're trying to make as many openings as possible. You know, if kids can't figure out Pokemon. They also have it listed here. I'm pretty sure this is a new quality of life change where if something is not super effective, very effective, where it's quad effective, it'll say extremely effective as opposed to just super effective.
I forget if I've seen that in previous games before or not.
Maybe it's also in ZA, but that's the extent of what we saw about Champions. This is arriving 26, so...
Also, what is this like? What is this Diamond and Pearl ass HUD? Like that, like those, like that looks like Diamond and Pearl.
You noticing the percents too? That it says like the
percents make sense. The percents make sense, especially because I mean, at least in Showdown, I think you just kind of have to like eyeball it in I guess like game if you're playing comp in Sun and Moon or whatever, or Sword and Shield or whatever, or Scarlet and Violet. That took me 2 tries, by the way.
It's one of them.
It's one of them. Like you just had to like look at the what's the word, the health bar like, and just kind of
That's true.
as I
You had
said,
to eyeball
eyeball
it.
how much damage you actually did. Like, oh, is that 49%? Is that 51% or whatever? Like, occasionally you'd have to just make calls based on like what it looks like. And I guess they're just trying to mitigate that without just telling you the amount of HP the opponent has.
So I never
that's
used Smogon or anything like that. Is there anything about this app that makes it a killer app? Like, oh, we'll never use Smogon or Pokemon Showdown again. This is the new game.
I mean, if they just like let you make Pokemon from the jump, I mean, that might be a little bit of a thing that kind of turns people off. Because I mean, but like since it certainly seems to cost a certain resource, like that might keep people on Showdown. Also, I mean, Showdown, Smogon rule sets, they're kind of community like what's the word? Community kind
Driven?
of voted like driven and stuff. So that might also be a thing because I don't know for sure if Game Freak's singles rule sets are really going to align with what people who play Smogon singles actually like.
I think it's going to be a Smash Bros situation again, probably.
There might be just there might still be a big audience for just like Pokemon Showdown, but I think for like VGC, this is probably where they're gonna start having VGC games. And I know some people who think that this is a sign that they're gonna like start taking away like base mechanics from Pokemon games, even mainline series games. But I don't know for sure if they're gonna do that. That seems a little bit much, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe they will.
I don't think you can make Pokemon from scrap here. I think they're going to have rental Pokemon, and maybe there'll be popular competitive ones. Yeah, but I think that's going to be the extent of it.
I know a lot of. I'm pretty sure Scarlet and Violet, and they might have had this since like Sword and Shield. You can just like rent other people's teams. So if someone sets up a competitive Pokemon team, you can just kind of like that you can just kind of borrow it and use it in battles. Sense. So, like, I mean, and because of that, like, I'm not sure how much of a change this is actually going to be, but you know, still might mean something.
For games like this, it's fine. But I never liked rental Pokemon in the mainline games. I think because the argument of weak Pokemon, strong Pokemon, people have gone in circles, but I like using my own Pokemon. And that's why, and I think I've said this before, whenever people hold up the Battle Frontier as like the end-all be-all for post-games for Pokemon, it really annoys me because I don't like the Battle Frontier that much. Because you don't really get to use the Pokemon you used on the adventure for most of the time. And I don't hate the Battle Frontier. I don't like it. I don't think it's fun. But I think people that treat it like, oh, this is, you need a post-game for Pokemon, Sword and Shield should just add the Battle Frontier. I don't think that makes up for no post-game. I would rather have a dedicated adventure where you can level up and use
same.
items.
I mean, I still think that, like, I mean, because it's only the Battle Factory that has you rent Pokemon. The other areas have different challenges and stuff. And I think, honestly, I don't think I'd ever have the patience for it. Maybe I would. I don't know. I think nowadays, like, because there are people who really try and do crazy shit for Pokemon Emerald's Battle Frontier. Because I know there's like one area where like literally you basically have to win 50 battles in a row without telling your Pokemon what to do, because basically it's like your Pokemon act on their own.
Yeah.
And like some people like develop strats to basically make that go as well as it could, or at least statistically, just kind of. But that seems like too much fucking grinding. Like I don't think that's kind of like a thing that I'd be that into.
For me, in the grid-based top-down Pokemon games, my favorite post games or anything like that were dungeons or dedicated large dungeons. I really like that in Black and White 2. I love that's my favorite
the Unova games treated us well. I think that's one of the reasons that like X and Y was just so immediately underwhelming to me, because like I beat the game and like it's just a year ago the answer to my question what's next is like, oh, look at all these cities and towns and things you can do. The answer to my question in X and Y is, oh, there's just like one area with like the Battle Maison, and that's like basically it.
You can hunt down the Mega Stones hidden around the Kalos area. Speaking of which, the main attraction beyond the Shiny Wo-Chen raid in Scarlet and Violet, is this what it's showing off? Yeah. And then it has the dates, because that one ends August 1st, or August 3rd. Okay. And then it picks up with these aren't the raids. The different, what would you call these? Treasures of Ruin, the Shiny Treasures of Ruin. So I already got my Wo-Chen. You got a couple days to get that still. I'm pretty sure all you have to do is participate in the battle. And they're super easy, or that one was at the very least. So I just need to remember to keep up with
it was only 5 stars, I think. So, it's not like, doesn't seem to be that difficult.
But the main attraction beyond that is, of course, Pokemon Legends ZA. For me personally, again, the trailer didn't show off anything that really enticed me. It seems like it's mainly dedicated towards showing off the NPC characters and one new Mega Evolution. Although I think it's cool to see Emma again. This is a video game after all, and nothing about the gameplay shown sells me on anything. I like the character customization. But how do you feel about the trailer, and specifically, do we have this as well? Yeah, this is the story trailer. But specifically the... Well, there's Emma. How do you feel about this trailer?
Dude, I mean, it was fine. I mean, I was mostly just curious, like, who the, what's the word? The Mega Evolution was going to be. I don't know. One thing Pokemon does in its trailers, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I think it's just not really a thing that entices me that much. They love showing you the human characters. Yeah. And, like, I like, don't care.
I think they have really cool 2D designs, but I feel like, specifically in Scarlet and Violet, I don't think they translated well at all. I thought they all looked like creepy doll people. But a lot of those designs are really cool. And a lot of these designs look cool, but I'm more focused on the Pokemon designs. And this is a fun idea that you don't have to use your Mega, but you use your Pokemon and you can Mega Evolve. And the versions of F, we're comparing it to Legends Arceus, the equivalent of the Alpha battles, or these are the Titan battles. Because there are still alphas in this game, according to the website, like pictures on it. Oh, yeah, really? The one Mega we got shown off was Mega Dragonite. Do you have any strong feelings about Mega Dragonite?
Dragonite's one of my favorite Pokemon ever, so I'm excited. I mean, I've seen people complain just because Dragonite... Well, you're
sexist if you complain.
Well, I've seen people say that. I think people overstate how silly Dragonite has always been meant to be. Because I remember, like, early on in the Kanto anime, they show off Dragonite without even showing off its whole... They only show the silhouette, and it's supposed to look like fucking badass and giant and scary and stuff like that. It's like the size of a lighthouse or whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's always been, like, a couple visions on what they want Dragonite to be. I think one of the reasons I love Dragonite so much is that as a kid, I watched the Orange Islands episode where Ash was fighting Drake, and Drake had this, like, scary-ass Dragonite. So, I don't know, I've always kind of, like, developed a certain liking to Dragonite.
Wait, did that just drop a Mega Stone? I guess it did, or drops Mega Energy. You have to fill up your meter that I'm covering right now. But... yeah, I think that was always... I mean, that's why Pikachu is the mascot, right? Is that it is equal parts cool and cute. And I feel like a lot of Pokemon really strike that balance. I think there's a lot of modern, later Pokemon, or specifically legendaries, that are too sharp and angular, like are trying too hard to be epic and cool, where my favorites have always been the cuter ones. I don't mind this design.
Pokemon I wish he generally goes for one or the other. You know what I mean? I think back in like in the past, they kind of would often... give Pokemon, I guess, both at the same time. I mean, one thing I've always disliked about the art style after, like, Gen 4, probably Gen 4, is, everything becomes a little bit softer, at least with the Pokemon that are supposed to be cute. I love how Kanto, you really had, like, these very kind of veiny, like, claws on the Pokemon and stuff. But that didn't really stop them from...
feature of the Mega Evolutions is a lot of them just don't... I know that they're meant to look different, and you don't want the Mega Evolutions to just look like additional evolutions or Pokemon. But a lot of them just kind of don't look like Pokemon to me. And I know that's the purpose of Mega Evolution. But I don't think there's a ton of Mega Evolutions that I really love, or even like more than their original Pokemon.
No, I think when I first heard about Mega Evolutions, I was kind of mad about it, because I think I thought it was going to be like literally a fourth stage of the evolution. Because I remember when they were kind of hyping it up, they just showed off Mega Mewtwo Y, and they just said this weird weird Pokemon that looks a lot like Mewtwo. What's this? And like, because the thing is, Mega Mewtwo Y specifically doesn't really look that much like just like a stronger Mewtwo. It looks more like a different Mewtwo.
Yeah, it's Mew 3.
So I think a lot of people were still confused. Like, is this Mew 3? Is this literally Mew 3?
Well, I'm pretty sure that design came about before the idea of Mega Evolution. They just had it, and they were going to do it anyway. And then they thought of Mega Evolution. They're like, oh, this could be his Mega, I guess. It also seems like...
Because I think if they showed off, like, Mega Mewtwo X, like, I think people would have been like, oh, this is supposed to be, like, a stronger Mewtwo or something. I think they would have been a little bit more obvious, but...
Also, from, like, design documents, it made it seem like every Pokemon was supposed to have an X and Y Mega, but they only got to Charizard and Mewtwo, and they're like, okay, we can't keep doing this for all of them.
I was imagining it today, like, oh, maybe they just had, like, two really good ideas for, like, Charizard, and they're like, oh, let's just do both.
They just love Charizard and Mewtwo. Mabel was from Team Flare in the original. I saw a lot of people saying, like, oh my god, Mabel's back, and then the other half of people saying, like, your asses did not care about Mabel Who are you deluding? But I'm fine with. I mean, I don't. For my general, I do kind of wish they made him blue because obviously the tail and the horn and the wings on the head are meant to follow the evolution chain of Dratini and Dragonair.
Yeah, if it was up to me, I would have made him blue because I've always liked the fan art that makes Dragonite blue in its mega form.
If it were up to me, every Pokemon would be blue, quite honestly.
But I'm just glad we got a Mega Dragonite, to be honest. Like, I mean, that's something I've always wanted, so I'm happy. I don't know if they've shown off its ability yet or anything. I don't know what they're gonna do.
No.
But I don't know. I mean, it's also exciting because Dragonite is like having a whole renaissance in its useful viability because of terrestrialization. So like, I'm curious. Actually, I mean, I think they're probably not going to do terrestrialization again next gen, so it might not be as good. But I don't know. It's a good time to be a Dragonite right now. You know.
To be turned into.
I wish I was a Dragonite.
Oh, I wish I was blue. Yeah. Well, I have learned to not expect more than we're shown when it comes to Pokemon games specifically. Oh, there was the Alpha. Just showed off. I think the Red Eyes beget Alpha, like it did in Legends Arceus. Yeah. So there's Alpha Houndoom. I'm glad those still exist. And these are the player character, or not the player characters, but the NPC characters that are shown off. That's cool. They're cool designs, but it's not really why I play Pokemon. I'm gonna have to do voices, I suppose. But we have now seen Mega Dragonite, and there's potential that there could be more Megas that will be shown off to us leading up to the release of the game in October, or a bunch of Megas that haven't been shown off and won't be shown off until the game is released. Because Pokemon's been a little better about not showing everything. It would be really funny if Mega Dragonite was the only new Mega in the game, and that's why they showed off exclusively that one. But if you remember last time on the Switch 2 Ultra podcast, editor put a little flashback animation. Switchy brought a list of Mega Evolutions to my attention, which I thought we should cover since they were clearly fake. I was like, yeah, you know what? Show it, print it. But now we have seen a Mega Evolution. Yes. I'm still holding out hope that they might be. We need to argue on opposite ends of this, so I'm just gonna say it's fake.
Okay, because it's most likely real.
Well, now we've seen a Mega Evolution of a Pokemon featured in this list, and we can cross off one of these 26 Pokemon. And if you're worried about spoilers, I'm still not convinced it's accurate. However, Switch, you noticed something about the choice of partner Pokemon from some of these trainers, correct?
Yes. So I think your two rival characters, one has, I think, a Staryu, and one has a Scraggy. Is it Scraggy? Dude, I'm like an adult now. I think I made the joke last week. I'm an adult. I'm like an adult now, so I don't remember the names of Pokemon all the time. But it's the dark fighting pants Pokemon from Unova. Scraggy. Okay, so yes.
That one was from when you were a kid, though.
Yeah, no, but I'm still getting old. Like, you know, I mean, I don't remember like the first forms anymore. But anyway, I know Scrafty.
I left it behind.
But anyway. I don't play Little Cup. So anyway, one of your rivals, I think, has a Staryu. One of your rivals has a Scraggy as their kind of like main partner Pokemon. So when you think about that, it was so hype. Look at how hype that is.
If you really think about it.
Turning into Mega Dragonite. So, and two of the Pokemon that are in these rumored like leaks are Starmie and Scrafty. And I think it'd be kind of apropos for your friends to have like one main partner Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, which is your starter, which people have been assuming they'll Mega Evolve since the start, and they have their own partner Pokemon which also can Mega Evolve. So I think that is a point into the direction of the fact that we're probably going to get a Mega Scrafty and a Mega Starmie, which is going to be fun. I think Mega Starmie is going to be cool.
I mean, I like Pokemon in general. It's just specifically, and maybe I think this might be. Even though I was excited for Mario Kart World, whenever I kept seeing gameplay footage of it, or we were discussing, like, oh, what's it going to be driving between laps? Like, what's that going to be like? Once it was in my hands, it was an entirely different story. So maybe I'll change my tune once I'm playing the game, and I'll be like, oh, right, it's Pokemon. I love Pokemon. This is fun. But as of right now, it's not something I'm particularly hyped for. Maybe I can make myself like Megas, because it seems like you can use Megas, or you have to use Megas, for a lot of these Titan battles, and Sableye is one of my favorite Pokemon, so maybe I'll just grind through the whole game with Sableye. That was another thing, too, maybe why I didn't like it,
it's, at least
is
for
that
me,
when they showed off Mega Sableye, I was like, well, great, now Sableye's not going to get a regular evolution.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I didn't like about Megas at first, because Gen 6, there were no new evolutions for Pokemon other than Sylveon.
Yep.
And then Gen 7 didn't have any new evolutions. So we went a whole 6 years without any new evolutions. So I thought, like, oh, are we just not doing Pokemon evolutions anymore? Because if that's the case, I feel like that's kind of a bummer, because, you know, I still think there are a lot of Pokemon that, I don't know, I would like to see them be kind of expounded on, but, you know, not necessarily through a mega evolution. Like one kind of like team captain kind of role on the team.
By the way, everything I say about megas does not apply to regional forms. I love regional forms. I think that's so fun.
Funny. I think I had a harder time getting into regional forms than megas as a kid, or at least I was a teenager, because I think regionals, like, it kind of made me confused about the lore of Pokemon, because, like, I guess you have Pokemon evolving into like other, like, similar but different forms. You know, even though, like, the evolution in Pokemon is just stage by stage, but I mean, they're like different. The evolution in Pokemon is more like metamorphosis. I don't really know if that means that much, but I don't know. Like, there was like lore implications that didn't really sit right with me. Also, I think at first, like, everyone thought that mega evolutions were regional forms were just gonna be like, oh, Ice Vulpix, this Pokemon but a different type,
right?
Which is a little bit fun, but also sometimes a little like, nah.
Yeah.
But then they kind of showed off a Alolan Executor, and I'm like, that might have been the first regional form they came up with. So I don't know what I was really worried about.
And then there was that fake Jigglypuff.
I think I was just 14, dude. I think I was just 14.
You were a hater.
Like, a little bit unsure about stuff.
Well, I remember there were fake leaks, or maybe speculation that was supposed to be. It was like, there's going to be like a water Arcanine.
I remember a water Arcanine. I'm like, that sounds fucking dumb.
They still haven't done that.
No, they instead went for the Fire Rock Arcanine, and because of terrestrialization, you have like a Pokemon with like one of the worst typings possible, and they're pretty good because you just turn that typing off, which is kind of funny. That is kind of a bit of a shame. Unfortunate thing about Pokemon is that there are a lot of typings and stuff that that are really cool conceptually, but because of the way the game is, like, you're just fucked with that type. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just kind of a shame, but, you know.
Well, there's some that overlap, too. Like, Bug has some advantages that Grass doesn't, but, like, do we need to... I think the card game has it right, where they just, like, you know, Rock and Ground are the same thing. We don't need to...
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they, like, separated Rock and Ground has always been kind of weird to me. It's like, does that really... Especially because, like, like, grass covers both plants and animals. Yeah. I'm sorry, it covers both plants and fungi, which is kind of weird. But I mean, you know, it's all good. It's all in good fun. We're just having a fun time. You know,
anytime there's a pink Pokemon, it's got to be psychic. I will circle back to the list.
Now they can be fairy.
Ooh, for the final main event segment of the show. But first, we have some more Tuesday to get through. Like the pre-order bonuses for Legends ZA going up on Best Buy and Walmart's websites. Here's a handy guide to pre-order bonuses made by Redditor Frank the Plug. I just saw multiple links to both of these. Oh, wait, I think the image is already opened over here. That Best Buy has a gaming mat, and Walmart has 1 of 3 random starter pins, apparently online only, it says. And then you can get one of the Sitting Cuties plushes from getting it from the Pokemon Center. And... But they always do the early purchase bonus, and it's just like, oh, if you get the game like at Christmas before the end of the year, which is what it used to be. The games would come out in November, and it'd be like, if you get this game before the end of the year, you get an early purchase bonus. But the early purchase bonus ends at the end of February, and the game come out at the end of October. So yeah, if you get the game in the first 5 or 6 months, then yeah, you get a
we got hella time.
And it goes with 100 Pokeballs. That's the extent.
Oh yeah.
No, go ahead.
I think I remember, like, when Oros came out, you got like the shiny Beldum as an early bonus. Because I forgot, and also, or at the very least, it was like a mystery gift thing.
X and Y gave you a Mega Blaziken or a Torchic with Mega Blaziken.
Oh yeah, I got that too. I forgot like how I got that Mega Blaziken, but yeah, no, that Mega Blaziken.
Dude, my team. No wonder I didn't like this game. My team, when I played Y for the first time, I got a. What's the original evolution of... Oh, Fennekin. I chose Fennekin as my starter. And then, like, after the first gym, they give you a Kanto starter. So I'm like, oh, I'll go with Charmander because there's cool Mega Charizards in this game. So I had a Fennekin, a Charmander, and then also with the pre-order bonus, I had a Torchic. So I had 3 fire starters. And also because because I liked getting the regional birds. The regional bird in this game is part fire type. So my team for like half the game was Charmander, Fennekin, Torchic, and Fletchinder. I was like, this game's not fun at all.
You're like my sister.
I love playing Pokemon like that. Also, the Switch 2 bundle, which I find really funny because this isn't even really a Switch 2 game. But I guess it comes with the Switch 2 edition.
First Nintendo bundle to sell 0 copies. Actually, that reminds me. I got an email saying just earlier this week that I'm now next on the queue to buy a Nintendo Switch 2 bundle, and I'm like, oh well,
exciting stuff. You could do one of those channel giveaways. You can go live and be like, the top gifter gets a free Nintendo Switch 2 bundle. If you comment down below and put the code in the chat and like the video and subscribe, you can win a Switch 2.
I love how like half the things they ask you to do, they just ask, even they can't actually check if you did it or not.
Yeah.
So they just
going off the well, it's all children. I went through a lot of rigorous research for this episode of Switch 2 Ultra, so I watched a lot of YouTube videos where people were talking about stuff, and they all started it with that. Like, yeah, we're giving away a Switch 2 down in the comments if you want to like this video. Speaking of Switch 2 editions, now we're jumping into Wednesday or Thursday with Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 edition plus Jamboree TV. So I tried to assemble the Switch 2 squad, the Chuckle Fucks, and I went ahead and made the purchase of Jamboree TV, shocked that I couldn't use my online subscription to cover it like I did with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Assuming that I was the only one who needed the game because the trailer said it had game share. It turns out that not only does the game share only work in person, and at that point, why not just play it together on the same TV, but also the only board you can play through game share is the Wiggler stage, meaning that if I wanted to play with friends online in this new Jamboree TV mode, either it's $20 for the upgrade or $80 for the whole purchase, and most modes require a camera peripheral that's not packaged in with the console. All for a game that I will only ever play on stream once or twice, or only play with friends when everyone is bored or drunk. So while I haven't played a substantial amount of Jamboree TV, I could probably definitively say, what is the fucking point?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a hard sell these days, especially because the console itself is already so expensive that asking for all these ask. First of all, I mean, it's an extension to a previously existing game. That's already kind of a weird situation. Yeah. It's like, so you need to buy a new console for this game that's originally on the Switch 1. You need to buy the upgrade. You also need to buy the peripheral, which doesn't come with the console. And you can't do it online with a new kind of with this new service that we've kind of put into the game that no one can really use yet, at least not with any of the games that we've been coming out with. It just seems especially honestly the game share and the game chat, the distinctions and the things you can and can't do is kind of confusing. It's a little hard to follow sometimes. So I
would have cared more, or it would have been received better if they just, because they released Jamboree like October last year. If they knew the Switch 2 was coming out, they could have just not released the game in 2024 and then release it as a Switch 2 title and be like, whoa, this new Mario Party, you can use the new peripherals. I think more people would have bought it if that were the case.
And weren't there already 2 Mario Party games on the Switch anyway? I don't know why. Do they really need to make throw this one out so late? I don't know.
I mean, that was the case with a lot of Mario Party games for a while. Is that 64
they've always kind of
and GameCube and even
churn those out.
They used to be a yearly release, I think. And I always like a new one. I like an excuse to stream it, get people together, and I was excited to do so. Even at the very least, if game share worked, I would have received this way better. If I was like, you know what? Sure, this is an additional 20. Sure, I need the camera, but I already have the camera, and I'm buying it for stream. I can get a stream out of this to play with my friends. The fact that the game share specifically doesn't work is annoying, because that seemed like a big pitch of game shares, being able to play these games with your friends. And it's ridiculous that it only works in person with additional Switches, because if you have a bunch of people together with Switches, you should just play Jamboree TV on the console anyway.
Yeah, I was excited, for example, to like play some of the new games that have come out like with friends who still had the Switch One. But I think you can only do that in person anyway. So yeah, just like, let's just do this on one screen instead of two. Like what are we trying to
Being
do? Like,
Nintendo fans, not in the fanboy category, but our fans, and we have this show. You unearth the two faces of Nintendo, how it's multifaceted or double faceted. Where this was like what 2 weeks after the release of Donkey Kong Bonanza, probably game of the year, one of the best games after a long while. That Nintendo releases really good video games, dedicated single player adventures, but then also sometimes they just do some bullshit like this. This is more of the business side of things that I think more people have grown accustomed to really disliking.
yeah, definitely. Because it's just like, okay, well, I mean, this is more. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be like too much of a Debbie Downer, but during that stream, we were trying to get it to work. It's like, okay, well, this is more trouble than it's worth. Like,
Yeah.
I like Mario Party, but I don't know if I really want to play it that bad.
I think it wasn't like we were. If it worked and we're like, oh, we're struggling to get it work, then it would be confusing. I think the reason we dedicated so much time is that it's dumbfounding that it doesn't work like at all.
Yeah, no, exactly. And also for what it's worth, like, dude, I mean, to be fair, I haven't used a lot of the alternatives. I think I've played a couple party games on like that Steam game share thing, like a couple years ago. So it's not like I do this often, but there's so much latency that it's like, oh, well, this isn't that fun. Because we were playing 3D World game share. That is a game you actually can game share remotely. And I don't know. I mean, it was like a good half second or maybe third of a second after I would press buttons that my character moved, and there was like a good kind of like rubber band delay every like once a minute, and it's like, okay, well,
I guess I've never had
the game like doesn't punish you for dying, because this is like I am not playing well.
I haven't played on someone else's game yet, but I am hooked up to Ethernet on my Switch too, so maybe it'll be a little better, but also I haven't been able to try that, so maybe it does just inherently suck. But this idea inherently sucks. I think it probably would have been better if they just delayed the game and then released it as a Switch 2 game from the jump, or maybe just released it like how they're releasing Metroid Prime and Legend ZA. You can see us going to 3D World now, where it has dedicated versions. I think they baited us a little bit by making Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom be free if you have online. I was kind of hoping most Switch 2 editions would be that, because I'm more willing to get something like Kirby Star Allies, Starcross Lovers, whatever, because that is additional levels, a dedicated single-player mode. Whereas this, like, the features in Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild are fine. It looks a lot better, but I don't know if I would have been willing to. I mean, I would have bought whatever was launching on the day just so I could encompass the full launch. I mean, that's part of doing the show. But I think this is the first Switch 2 edition where I just wondering what the point is. And I hope more Switch 2 editions in the future aren't nearly as... I mean, probably the rest of them will be single-player. So maybe if I played Jamboree in person with people, it would have been more fun. But where I'm at right now, I think it's just more trouble than it's worth, and I don't think it's worth what it is at all.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Yeah, pretty much. It's just like,
but
not like...
the more we talk about it, the more I will have made the purchase worth it by milking content out of this game. On the same Wednesday, on the constantly updating Nintendo Today app, constantly getting new information, Nintendo doubles down on Mario and Peach being very good friends. Now, have you heard about this? It's thrown a lot of people into disarray. How do you feel about Princess Peach and Mario are good friends and help each other out?
I remember in like 2016 or 2017, a friend of mine said that, they've never really outright stated that Mario and Peach are dating or love interests. And I'm trying to think, I feel like there have been instances where it's pretty implied. I mean, obviously there's like the kissing on the nose and stuff, but I feel like there has been like instances in the past where like there is like supposed to be like amorous feelings, but I'm not sure. I mean, I remember someone brought up that like Mario is friend zoned by Peach, but Luigi, like Daisy is building statues of her and Luigi dancing together, and like Luigi got the girl, Mario didn't.
I think it's the other way around though, because of the Paper Mario games. I've always thought that Mario was some kind of wild stallion who everyone in the kingdom wants, and Peach wants something more committed, but Mario can't be tied down. So instead of moving on,
tweeting that, I'm like, did I fuck with that? I like that. I like
so
that
instead
vision.
of Peach moving on, she just stays in this constant situationship where Mario goes out partying every night and then comes to crash in her castle, and she has to be okay with him staying emotionally distant because otherwise he'll like be out of her life forever.
Dude, that's kind of sad.
For her, yeah. Or maybe they both just fuck around on the side. It's one of those relationships where like they're together, quote unquote, where they're like physically always together, but they just fuck around with other people, but then they just kind of live together. They're like, yeah, he knows where home is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess they just help each other out whenever they can.
Yeah.
Apparently.
But not all the time, just whenever it's convenient for them.
Was there any like implication that Mario had feelings for Peach in the movie? I'm trying to remember. Like,
I think he thought she was cool. It was mainly about him rescuing his brother. He's like, whoa, Princess Peach is so cool. Because she does all that cool action shit in that movie. She's a cool action star.
Yeah, no, she's like a DreamWorks like female character. That sounds misogynistic, but you know what I mean. They're kind of like, oh, never mind. She's actually good at what she does.
Instead of writing a strong female character, they write a strong female character.
Yeah, I guess.
Physically strong. That's the thing. People hear like strong female character, and instead of hearing like, oh, a well-written female character, they're like, oh, okay, we can make her strong. We can make her beat stuff up.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the trope where it's like, you know, they kind of like it's like there's I mean, it's common in Marvel movies. There's like the male character, and then there's like always that one scene where the female character like does something way beyond their pay grade, or at least people think would be their pay grade, and the guy's like, whoa. I mean, they always do that in movies. So
I don't really mind it in children's animated films or action movies like that
sometimes,
because like it goes both ways. Like if it's an action movie, specifically a Marvel movie, you can't really complain like, oh, this woman's like beating all these people up. She's all she does is that she's strong, and it's like that could be applied to really any of these characters.
Yeah,
they all just kind of punch things really hard, and I like most of these movies. There was a slow-mo goo-goo eye segment. I don't think Peach showed interest in him, though. In the movie? Oh, yeah, where she jumped in the air. She did that cool action kick. Yeah. I think he was more horrified for his life more than anything. I honestly think Peach should end up with Bowser. Continue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess they've always been a little bit playful about it, or at the very least, they don't really kind of state it outright. Because, I mean, Mario is also just not really that kind of game.
Right.
But I don't know. I still feel like there's been information, probably in side content, that have kind of hinted that they're like supposed to be romantically involved at the very least, or at least romantically interested in each other. I mean, definitely in the
Bowser and Mario have implied they have tension.
Dude, Bowser and Mario like give up on her and just date each other.
They should release a game because everyone's like, oh, they're just trying to be vague about it, and then they release a game where there's like a different female character, and they're like, no, this is actually Mario's girlfriend. He actually really likes her. She was off screen the whole time. She's like not on. She's not on camera because she doesn't like cameras. But no, she's at his home. They live together.
Guys, I'm gonna have to let you go. Tyler, you're fired. You fired Tyler. You fired me. But it just zooms out and it's Mario's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But
they have to break up. He's going through a really rough breakup.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is all. I mean, this could all just be them, you know, like having like a little kiddie kind of like blurb just for kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in case like, I don't know, kids can't like ooh, Mario's getting Peach's cooties.
They got the Hays Code for straight couples now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think like, I mean, I would still argue based like off of just not just like my nebulous memories of like things said in like RPGs and stuff. I mean, like Mario and Bowser, they're like fighting to give her flowers at the end of Odyssey. I feel like that's got to mean something, you know?
Yeah, I like that characterization where they're more cartoony. I mean, that comes from the Popeye and Bluto inspiration.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, what if Mario's always had his heart out for Pauline? But then again, Pauline kind of acts like she's never met him before in Odyssey.
Every
which
single
is confusing.
time. She just doesn't like him.
Like,
she's like, they got to pretend they met every time. Apparently, there's going to be implied lore, but I think we got to get more through Bonanza to understand the timeline of Mario.
Oh, good Lord.
I think that's what I want to do, because we have some open weeks between next week where I want to talk about Evo, because I'm going to watch it over the weekend and stream it. And between that and I guess Dragon Drive is the week after that, but between that and Kirby, where I think the week before I want to just try and do a bunch of research on Kirby lore and do my best to explain a timeline before that game comes out. But still within Wednesday, not really as important, but WWE 2K25 has come to the Nintendo Switch 2, and apparently it runs pretty great. And normally I like these wrestling games. I actually plan on streaming 2K24 again on Thursday for another installment of the Ultraverse bets. I think it'll be after the video goes up, probably. But 2K24 and 2K25 seem so similar that I didn't even bother getting this game. Like, I'm done with these yearly installments unless they add some crazy shit. As long as I can keep playing the one that still works, I'm fine. All of that to say, apparently the Switch 2 edition is missing community creations, which is a mode where you can upload your custom wrestlers, entrances, moveset, stages, and images to an online hub that anyone can download.
Oh, is this the game where people? I think I've seen like a meme from one of these games where you have like where a guy like is basically Sans Undertale and he beats people up or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that this series? Okay, yeah. I always assumed that was like a mod or something. So that's like an actual in-game feature.
Yeah, you could create characters in the game, but again, like all the games kind of blend together. The last one I got was 2K24, and then something like clicked. I was like, I don't really need to keep getting these. I mean, I haven't seen this mode at all. That's crazy. But now that I was gonna say now that it's 2K, but no, they've been doing yearly installments since like 2007. But when I was a kid, a year seemed like a much larger time. But
for sure,
they removed community creations, and normally I'd be against this change, and I still am. But also, WWE 2K is one of the only streams I've ever had to take down immediately because one time I opened community creations live and saw an image of someone's just spread open pussy. So I honestly don't blame Nintendo for just removing community creations. Unless they removed it for some kind of, I don't know, fidelity or like, oh, it made the game run bad. But I imagine this is more of a Nintendo censorship decision.
I think it's just a community safety thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nintendo really cares about that.
Yeah. Did I remember when I was a kid, I decided to I wanted to make friends on Animal Crossing, so I posted on Miiverse like, hey, if anyone wants to add me, this is my friend code. And it got taken down because apparently that was breaking their rules. You're not allowed to share your friend code on Miiverse or whatever. And I kind of thought, what's the fucking point of Miiverse then?
Yeah.
Am I not allowed to make friends to play games with here? I guess I wasn't, so I couldn't make friends to play Animal Crossing New Leaf with.
Nowadays, I love games like Lethal Company where you start talking to strangers and make friends. But as a kid, when I was in Xbox Live parties with people I knew, whenever there was a GTA heist and I was doing with randos and they were like, oh, join this call, I was like, I know they're gonna know that I'm a squeaker, that I'm a preteen. I'm not joining this call.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to strangers at all.
Yeah. Dude, even now, I don't want to talk to strangers. Get away from me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll do it when I'm streaming, but that's mostly when I just play games anyway. But
yeah.
Wednesday's a very stacked day, apparently. They're making a Lego Game Boy, and all it did was remind me how much I disliked the Lego Mario from 5 years ago for Mario's 35th anniversary. Do you remember that?
What did you like about it?
I didn't like that it wasn't a minifigure. I didn't like that you were just building Mario.
Oh.
Because, when you build a SpongeBob set, you have... I really liked the minifigures a lot as a kid. Even outside of building the sets, I think the minifigures were the thing I liked the most. And I like getting sets just so I could have those little characters. I think because a lot of the Lego video games, those are the characters you play as. So you get, a SpongeBob set, and you have a little SpongeBob minifigure. Or Star Wars, you get a Star Wars minifigure, stuff like that. And I was excited about the prospect of getting Mario character minifigures, but instead you just build a Mario. And he looks really weird, and I just didn't like it.
Mm.
Do you want to talk about South Park at all? Because now we're on the Wednesday day.
Oh, I don't know what happened with South Park. I guess they showed Donald Trump on it or something, kind of played him as Saddam Hussein, basically.
So, do you plan on watching the episode?
I mean, I might, just because I stopped watching every South Park episode back in 2019. I think I just kind of it just kind of evaded me. I kind of I fell out of practice or whatever.
Well, it's really easy because they released 6 episodes every other year for a while, so you're not that far behind.
Yeah, so I've seen a handful of some of the new episodes. I've seen some of the specials, the COVID special or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know what happened with Donald Trump.
Yeah, more people have talked about it. That's just something eventful that happened on Wednesday, but we do have a decent amount to cover. Now that we're on Thursday,
have you seen the episode?
I did see the episode.
So what was the whole context of it? Why is it I mean, is it just making fun of Trump, or is there like a specific thing that
Well,
happened?
the context is that there was a 60 Minutes interview last year, like November, October last year, they interviewed Kamala Harris, and it was heavily edited because their interviews are edited, and that one just seemed more edited. And then the Trump administration like sued 60 Minutes, which is owned by Paramount, Viacom, for like election tampering. They sued them for that. And normally, well, this is a lawsuit, and normally that would be dropped immediately because it's bullshit. But Paramount is trying to acquire Skydance Films, and those are the distributors. It's not Tom Cruise's company, but it's distributors of Mission Impossible and Top Gun movies. They want to own that intellectual property, and this would be a huge monopoly. So normally that would go through, but around the time of the lawsuit, when Viacom was like, no, we're not paying this, the FCC mysteriously like wouldn't allow the merger to go through until Paramount kind of bent to the lawsuit and then just kind of ate it and paid it off. And then the FCC allowed it, I guess. Or maybe the merger didn't happen, or maybe it's happening right now. Maybe the FCC blocked it because it's a monopoly. Who knows? But then...
The FCC won't let maybe.
Colbert reported on this, I think, and called the Paramount cowards, or like made fun of Trump too many times. I don't know. You know how Colbert is. And then Paramount said, we're canceling The Daily Show. I think that's what the show is. And they're not even just, it's not even just like, oh, we're removing Colbert. It's no, we're canceling The Daily Show, which has been around for a decades, I think. They're just canceling it outright. Mm-hmm. And because of this, Colbert has gone sort of scorched earth, just like totally shitting on Paramount. They're really a big year for Paramount when it comes to television, because they also appeared in the rehearsal. So the episode is, because the South Park guys have just finalized a $1 billion deal with Paramount. And the episode is them really trying to get Donald Trump to sue them. To sue Paramount. Like, it's purposefully defaming him. Not that anything they said is untrue, but they have a bit in the episode where there's, like, a 60 Minutes interview, and the hosts are, like, really, like, servile, and they're like, oh, I don't know, Trump's a good guy, I don't know, guys. Like, basically showing them as wimps. There's a lot of that. And then they name-drop Colbert in the episode, which happened, like, 2 days before the episode went live, which I think is the magic of South Park, is you can kind of just get that in really quickly.
They make that shit fast. I really don't know how they get away with it. Like, I mean, not like in the sense of like how to, like, even if they like have like the like pretty cheap animation style, like the idea that they can make stuff like that in like a week or two is still like really like nuts to me.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a regular thing where we cover every week's episode of South Park. I know there was a lot of people talking about it.
Well, this is a big enough news story, because I know that it's also had to do with like South Park's contract and stuff like that.
I saw it on like Discussing Film posts and all that. Like it's some. Oh yeah, also Comic-Con happened the week before, or the week between Switch to Ultra episodes, but anything that was announced will come out and then we'll talk about it eventually. Apparently they showed off a Smiling Friends episode. And after the Rick and Morty season 8 finale aired on Sunday, and while we were watching it, they aired that Smiling Shorts bumper, or that Smiling Short, where Pim gets the eye surgery. And I was like, oh, we've already seen this. But at the end of the bumper, they showed like, oh, new Smiling Friends season coming this fall, which I don't think was confirmed. I know other things said it, other sources said it, and I know we said it on the Switch to Ultra podcast. But now it seems to be confirmed by Adult Swim. But that is the extent of Wednesday. Thursday, apparently, Metroid Prime 4 has been rated by South Korea. It really matters what the rating is, more that the rating is done. Because South Korea has been a very valuable asset and source to us. I don't know what their deal is with China. Maybe we shouldn't say nice things if we're paid off by China. But, because earlier this year, it was the South Korean website that leaked Rainbow Road, that leaked Smallene to begin with. But this is just the South Korean ratings board. This points in the direction of Metroid Prime. I feel like we're constantly seeing how close this game is to release without actually having an official release date. I've heard from a source, you know, going in. I've heard on Twitter that apparently the game isn't finished and hasn't reached deadlines yet, which I don't necessarily believe. No. But if it is true, this has to be the most difficult game to make, because it was already canceled once and restarted already. And we're coming up on a decade since the game was teased. So if the game is like, I guess we can't, I don't know why we don't have a release date. I don't think it's because the game isn't finished. Maybe that's the case, but it'd be really funny if they pushed the game back again.
Yeah. It would be to the point where I think like just because it'd be so funny, like I wouldn't be that disappointed.
Just cancel the game. We're done with it. We don't want to see it. But that's the thing, is they showed it off. They had people playing demos on the Treehouse and the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. And now we have our hands on Mario Kart, on Jamboree, on Bonanza, obviously Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But that's the only one showed off that we don't even have a release date for. It's really strange.
Yeah. I mean, actually, aren't there like rumors that there's going to be a July Direct? Or something like that, or like a Direct really soon, or something like that. I don't know if that's like actually.
It's funny you mentioned that. Actually, people have been saying that. But real quick, I mentioned earlier that this year, 2025, is Mario's 40th anniversary, because as we know, 5 years ago was the 35th, and Nintendo released Super Mario 3D All-Stars Collection, and Shadow announced a new Paper Mario, along with that Lego I hate. That's why I brought it up. But for the 40th anniversary, which is already half over, they've been radio silent, unless you count like Mario Kart World as celebrating their 40th.
But they didn't even make a buzz about like, oh yeah, it's Mario's 40th birthday or whatever. Like they didn't bring it up. Mm-hmm. So
it's worth noting that Mario game, Super Mario 3D All-Stars did get a Shadow update on the launch day of the Nintendo Switch 2. I remember playing it a little bit. I was like, oh, I wonder what they changed, and I couldn't really find anything. But because of that, this image has been circulating for an accidental Mario 40th anniversary post on the Switch 2. You can see it zoomed in here. That little pixelated. Oh. If the only thing they announce is Mario 40, because they did Mario 35 5 years ago. I've heard some people say also that, like, oh, the reason 3D All-Stars got an update is because it's going to get a Switch 2 edition that adds Mario Galaxy 2. I think that would be so fucking annoying if they did that, but it's not impossible.
That seems like the kind of like bullshit they would pull, but it's like, oh hey, yeah, you want to, let's just make them wait 5 years to play Mario Galaxy 2.
They did it on purpose.
The same engine as Mario Galaxy 1. Let's just do that.
But this is the image that we've been seeing. It's listed in articles as false and also flared on Reddit as false. Not that I'm believing it, but I haven't been able to pinpoint exactly why it's false. Like if the creator of the image came forward, or just if no one believes it. But
to
regardless,
be fair, it would be really easy to fake that. Like all you need to do is like play with Inspect Element and just kind of like take a picture. So like, you know,
even if we're not literally believing this, like it stands to reason. It's still strange that we have nothing of mention for Mario's birthday.
Yeah, I mean, there's truth to that, because it really seems like, I mean, if they flaked on the 35th anniversary, that would make some sense. But on the 40th, it seems like 40 is too big of a number.
What did they do for the 30th? Maybe they only do the years with 5 in them.
I actually don't remember.
Because the 25th was the Wii game, right, where they re-released All Stars.
Yeah, I mean the 30th when they re-released All Stars.
Right, because it's 2025, 2020.
I mean the 30th Mario Maker came out the 30th. I know that.
True, that's right. That was 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there might not even be like a mainline Mario game released this year.
Yeah.
So before we talk about that Direct, apparently there's a new SpongeBob SquarePants game coming to the Nintendo Switch developed by THQ Nordic, which clashes with that proven fake 4chan leak from 2 weeks back, last time on Switch 2 Ultra, which we already knew was fake because of everything in it, but also the date listed as featuring the Nintendo Direct already passed. The only reason I wanted to cover this is because the first to report on it apparently is this French article that, where is it, right here, or not here, where the title is Bobble a Sponge.
Mm-hmm.
I just really like that name. Apparently there is a new THQ game that was teased last year, maybe. That's the extent of all I have to say about it. I just like the Bobble a Sponge title. Because this one's being made by THQ, not Purple Lamp, which was, shown in the fake leak.
Oh, okay.
But something...
THQ did Battle for Bikini Bottom, right?
Yes, because THQ folded, and then THQ Nordic came back, and then they made that remake, and then made Cosmic Shake as well using that engine. And I think we've had a number of other SpongeBob games. I saw people posting about this as well, that like the Fantastic Four movie, like, oh man, I wish we still had licensed games, because this would make a perfect video game. That every movie used to be made into a video game, but now it's only indie games or AAA studios that I'm glad they view SpongeBob as like a AAA character that they have to continue making video games for. Something we've been covering...
I mean, I assume it's like only the really big stuff as opposed to just like every single game, every single like, especially because most of the games are just crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There Imagine Party Babies.
I mean, those are a lot of the early Xbox games I played. It's like Shrek and then Disney's Cars that had a dedicated racing game. Oh, I love WALL-E for the 360, but that's a story for another day. Something we've been covering seemingly ever since the Switch 2's launch is the elusive Summer Nintendo Direct. So you are right to bring that up. VGC is reporting on it. Apparently, Nate the Hate is continuing to claim it's coming soon. Nate the Hate has come up several times this year and last, quote-unquote, leaking the dates of important Nintendo announcements. And I think we've brought him up before and asked, like, oh, who is this guy? Why are we trusting him? Why do we know his name? But a little peek behind the curtain, while doing this show, I've been doing research on the Smash Bros. Speculation cycle from 2020 and 2021 for an upcoming video, of course, next year, because that's the only video where I could be like, yeah, for sure I'm making that. I'm finishing the trilogy of the Smash Bros. Ultimate cycle, just that era. And while watching some of the videos the other day, I was shocked to hear Nate the Hate's name in a video from 2020. So apparently he's actually been around and trusted the whole time under my nose, and I just only now learned his name. So before, when we thought about or were told about this July Direct, maybe I spoke for both of us, but I think we both kind of said, like, that's not going to happen. I believe because they're showing off a bunch of stuff on the Nintendo Today app. I mean, they just showed off that Mario and Peach are really good friends. I don't... Well, what do you think? Do you think that we could be coming up on a July Direct?
I hope it's a July Direct, because that would mean it's coming out to tomorrow or the day after.
Right. Well, what's interesting is that if there is a Direct this week, which many seem to think so, that will likely either be announced tonight or tomorrow. So there's a chance that they announce a Direct during this show, or even worse, right after we end the show, which keeps happening to us somehow.
Yeah.
There's additional information that always happens whenever we go off. Like, there was another Nintendo online playtest that took applications right after we went off the air last week, but nobody's allowed to talk about that, so it's not worth covering yet. I heard some people say it's, like, similar to Animal Crossing, and it might be for, like, a future Animal Crossing game, but, again, we don't even have any footage of that, so...
Yeah, NDAs.
So I still don't think we're getting a Direct until after summer, but I've been wrong before several times.
Yeah. I just want to be wrong, you know. I just want to be. I guess I want to be wrong, because I mean, it seems like this won't be a thing they do, but I don't know. I mean, to be fair, like, there still is a lot of information we don't know, and I guess, like, what do they think? What do we think they have planned for September? You know, and October.
That's right.
I mean,
I think next Direct or
BA.
Likely soonest Direct would be September, maybe.
Well, I think, like, do we have any big games that we know are coming out in September? Like, I don't think we
do. Daemon X Machina 2 on September 5th.
I mean, if that's their best game, like, I could see them potentially wanting to talk more about other games that are coming out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Metroid 4, they say it's coming out in 2025, right?
Yes.
Okay. I mean.
And it's been rated by the South Korean ratings board.
Yeah, we still don't have a date for that. No. So I mean, I think like announcing the date for that game in September might be a little too late. Unless if it's like a totally a December game, I guess that could make some sense. But I don't know. I feel like the window's closing. When did they say the Kirby game was coming out?
That's August 28th. I'm looking at my calendar here.
I'm talking about Kirby Star Riders.
Oh, Kirby Air Riders? It just said, like, holiday. Riders. We still don't know. It's just holiday 2025, I think.
So, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of these games that we still have, like, very little information on that, I mean, potentially they could wait until September, but I don't know. I mean, I think there's definitely a likelihood that they might have stuff, like, set up for September that they might want to announce now.
Yeah, and Mario's gone woefully birthdayless.
Yeah.
There's that one Hyrule Warriors game coming out. They, like, showed off a Splatoon game, Splatoon Raiders, on their app. But that's the thing that leads me to believe that we won't get a Direct soon, like a major Direct, because it seems like they're more interested in showing off games on their app to get people to use it.
Yeah, there's some truth to that too. I mean, I really, it's hard to tell like what they actually see as like app material and as direct social media or something, especially because like if they on the computer, and unless they have like something really big and new that they kind of want to keep as a surprise, like there's not much of a reason to do it like in a direct.
Would you think any of the games we know about are gonna be like the big holiday game?
Part of me is like inclined to say Metroid 4, but I'm not sure like if that's really like holiday game material, at least historically.
I mean, they're releasing
Metroid, all things considered, is a little bit niche. Like it's not like, I mean, this is definitely a big deal for long-time Nintendo fans. I mean, Metroid Prime has been kind of like, you know, a golden goose for like fans
coming up on a decade,
like fans. Especially with like the amount. Actually, that's a good reason that they would want to probably do it during a direct, because Metroid Prime 4 has been such a like strenuous process that I think that like flaunting it in front of us in the context of a direct, I feel like makes more sense, or it's a little bit more satisfying, as opposed to like, oh, by the way, guys, on Twitter, Metroid Prime 4, and then the replies are just like, come on, when's
release it, keep poking it. Come on, do something. Well, in the context of the show, while looking at my calendar, like next week on August 4th, I'm going to talk about Evo, because I'm going to be streaming it the entire weekend before, so I'll have a lot to say about that. And then we have a week where the Monday after that, nothing really happens between it. I guess Supernova. It depends on how important that seems. But then
the Pokemon World Championships are happening. That might be kind of interesting.
Well, you mean this weekend, like between this week and the next?
No. It's like in the middle of August. I'm just thinking like a little bit ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
Might be. Yeah.
If you intend on watching it, you can give a little dissertation, because that's probably what I'll probably have a lot to say about Evo come next week.
Yeah.
But
I might try and pay attention to that.
If that's between the 4th and the 11th, that's great, because between 11th and the 18th, Drag X Drive comes out. I forgot about that entirely. And then between 18 and 25, nothing. And then 25 and September 1st, Kirby comes out. So we get like the week before, we could talk about Kirby a little bit. And then between 1 and 8, I guess Daemon X Machina. And then nothing through September. We have a lot of weeks, and then mid-October is Pokemon. I think there's a chance. I don't think it will sell super well. I mean, it's Pokemon. Pokemon always sells well. But, I mean, if they're doing the Switch 2 bundle, I think and they're releasing in October, I think there's a chance that they view their holiday game as ZA.
Pokemon.
But also, like, the holiday game doesn't necessarily need to release in the holiday. Like, if they want to sell it to parents buying the console for their kids for Christmas, I'm sure they'll make a bundle. Like, they'll make, like, a Switch 2 that comes with Donkey Kong and Mario Kart. Something. But it's at least a discussion point right now. I still don't think we're getting a direct until after summer, but like I said, I've been wrong. I watched a ton of direct prediction videos from the last couple days, one of which gives a dedication to Hulk Hogan and used the term rest and power. I just thought that was worth noting, because that's ridiculous. Considering the kind of guy he was. I paused the video. I was like, there's no way, dude.
Rest in peace, Ozzy, by the way. That one was pretty sad.
That one, yeah.
I'm a big Black Sabbath fan.
And Mangione. So, speaking of specific dates. So, wait, just real quick. There is a world where we go off the air today, and then we come back next week, and a direct is announced, and a direct happens. And then we're just like, oh, okay, fuck, I guess we gotta talk about this direct. There's a world where that happens, but if we come back next week, I mean, if you're watching these in a playlist and then you go to the next one and we're like, well, guess what? There was no direct. So where would you fall on this? Let's just say yay or nay direct this week.
Like, do I think it's more likely than not, or
just between yay or nay? Yeah.
Yay, I guess.
All right, I mean, I'll go nay then. So that way we'll keep the scoreboard up.
Just for the faux kind of argument.
Yeah, like, we'll do this every week, and eventually one of us is gonna be right. We have to be. Before we go into the main event segment of the show, Sunday marks the anniversary of Mother 1's release, known to many as Earthbound Beginnings, and I've seen a lot of people talking about that game. I've never had the pleasure of playing the game, so I wanted to ask you if you have any strong feelings about Earthbound Beginnings or Mother 1.
I love telling the story because when I was in 6th grade, I had played a little bit of Mother 1, Mother 2, and Mother 3. I think I'd played up to like maybe Peaceful Rest Valley and Mother 2, which is like, I mean, if you know what you're doing, probably like 2 hours into the game.
Okay.
And I had like played Chapter 1 of Mother 3 several times because I didn't know how to use save states, and like for whatever reason the ROM I was playing on, because I was playing Mother 3 illegally.
What?
So like, yeah, I was doing a little thing called emulation, and I did time in it. I did time for it. You know, I had to pay like $200,000 in like.
But was it worth it? Would you
damages? Say? Yeah, it was. But yes,
and I'd do it again.
So I basically just played the first chapter of Mother 3 over and over again, which is still like, you know, maybe like an hour or two. I mean, it's a pretty short. It's, I mean, you know. So like I had played those games, at least a little bit of them, for a while, like over and over again. And I was kind of like, I was in this like weird like obsession of the game series that people sometimes have, where yeah, I haven't actually played the game in full, but I like read the wiki all the time. Like I was kind of doing that as a kid.
Mother fan playing their first game.
I was just reading the wiki for the game. I think I might have watched a full Mother 3 Let's Play by then too, but I never actually played the full game. Or maybe I had. I forget. But basically, like around halfway through or early in 6th grade, I'm like, dude, I want to play this series. You know, it's. I mean, despite the fact that I haven't played any of it, or I haven't played much of it, it still means a lot to me. I love those games. So I start by playing Earthbound Zero, and I just couldn't get into it. I tried playing, I think at first the original NES kind of English prototype. I couldn't get into it. There's also a version that some people recommend where you play the Game Boy Advance re-release of it with like the Easy Ring, which is an item that makes the game easier. It still didn't do much for me, and I was just really frustrated. I just could not like get into the game because I don't know. Like it was a little bit, you know, like antiquated in some of its features, like your limited inventory size, the kind of backtracking you had to do. There's just like a lot of things that nowadays are just seen as too janky. It's funny because like in a lot of RPG player circles, like if you ever bring this up, like people will just kind of like shit on you because like there's always this kind of like competition between video game fans, especially RPG fans, to play the most like janky, slow, and sluggish games possible and say that you're having fun with it. So like, you know, I remember occasionally you have some comments in my like Earthbound Beginnings video where they're like, bro, man, this game's so fucking easy. You know, I like eating. I like playing Earthbound Zero for breakfast. I like eating nails for breakfast without milk. I'm so tough.
You didn't even
that
actually
kind of like
play the
attitude
game.
You see between people. But yeah, no, I think like that game specifically, there are still a lot of things in it that just kind of, you know, that are a little bit sluggish, especially if you don't use a guide. I mean, one thing a lot of people forget is that back then, like you were kind of expected to read the manual for the game. And like I think if you play Mother 1 Earthbound Zero nowadays with a manual, you'd have a much better time. But I tried to play it blind; it didn't work. And you know, I never played it in full until I was I think 13. So a couple years later. So and then I just went to Earthbound and Mother 3, played those games in full several times. I became an addict, you know, whatever. But I don't know. I still think absolutely Mother 1 is a beautiful game. Like Shigesato Itoi had a very specific vision for video games that like there's a reason why people nowadays still like replicate Earthbound, see Earthbound as monumental of a game as it is, because I think Itoi just had a specific way of like telling stories, creating worlds that just captivates people. Captivates me at the very least. So I don't know. I mean, there are things about it that are kind of frustrating. Like I never played it fully without speeding it up or using save states or cheats or whatever until I was an adult, straight up. Because when I was a kid, I think I played it. I think I played it when I was 13, with like save states and speeding it up and stuff. And as I said I didn't say this here, but in my video, my Earthbound Beginnings video, I decided to play it like as cold turkey as possible. So I didn't speed it up. I didn't use save states. I didn't do anything that would kind of like make the game less sluggish feeling than it is. And I think that's important because a lot of people will talk about games nowadays, and if you kind of press them, they'll admit, oh yeah, I did kind of speed up a lot of parts of it on my emulator, which is, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's not like I don't sometimes do that with certain old games, but I think that certainly warps the gameplay experience to the extent where you might not be getting the same, you might be getting a different image of the game than someone who played it on like the original hardware, 40 years ago. So I don't know. Is it 35 years? I forget. 35 years.
It was 89. So people were talking about its anniversary, but I don't think it's like a round anniversary. I think we're at like 36 or something.
36
yeah.
then, yeah.
But I just saw a lot of people talking about it. I know somebody made a video. But
yeah, I mean,
specifically this game, I mean, we were just talking about stuff happening at Comic-Con. And the idea of like seeing something that's a sneak peek that you think about a lot, but because you saw it in an exclusive audience, you can't like rewatch it. I remember when we went to MomoCon, we caught the end of Jake Neutron's stream, and there was like a new song that I heard, and it was stuck in my head, but I couldn't. Oh, what's this video? I couldn't listen to it again. And seeing the little watermark up here for Starman.net, I not too long ago wanted to show someone the Earthbound USA documentary because I saw it live at MagFest. Well, I saw it showing of it. I wasn't live, but I saw a showing of it, and I was like, oh, man, I love this, and I want to watch it again. And I think it is released. You just have to buy, like, the DVD, I'm pretty sure. But that was earlier this year, and I really haven't been able to stop thinking about it. Is this the official Starman.net YouTube account?
It probably is, yeah.
All right, subscribed.
It's interesting. When was the last time they uploaded something?
10 months ago.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny. I'm pretty sure they still like. There's a lot of parts of that website they haven't changed since like the early aughts or the mid aughts because like I'm pretty sure on the website itself like it still only shows off like tabs for Earthbound Zero, Earthbound Zero, Earthbound, and Mother 3, and they have like one extra tab for Smash Bros. Brawl, but like none of the other Smash Bros. Games.
That's awesome.
I think they still have that. It's like, oh yeah, dude, this is like some real 2008 shit, dude.
So, covering something or moving on to something we did last time on Switch 2 Ultra. According to the likes of Centro Leaks, there are 25 Mega Evolutions planned for Pokemon Legends ZA yet to be revealed. We have each picked 10 from the list. Each of us, we
10?
have no, we have
5.
Sorry, we have together selected 10. My bad. We have picked 10 Pokemon from this list. Each of us selecting 5. And made mock-ups for what we think these new Mega Evolutions might look like. This is, again, if we are believing this list, and this is all because of Mega Dragonite, which was shown off in the official trailer, which is, of course,
so cute.
Right here on the list, making the list of 26 go down to 25. And if we each pick 5 here, then it's down to 15. So let's go down the list. Mega Clefable, Mega Starmie, Mega Victory Bell, Mega Meganium, Skarmory, Feraligatr, Mega Frostlass, Mega Emboar, Mega Scolipede, Excadrill, Electros, Scrafty, Chandelure, Mega Chestnut, Mega Delphox, Mega Greninja, Mega Pyroar, Mega Malamar, Mega Barbaracle, Mega Dragology, and I think we had an image last week as well for Mega Dragology. Mega Hawlucha, Mega Eternal Flower Floette, Mega Zygarde. These two are the ones that, or this one specifically makes me not believe it, but Mega Drampa and Mega Falling. So we have each chosen 5 Mega Pokemon. And we're going to show off our mock-ups to each other, and we're going to explain them. So who should go first, do you think?
Why don't we do 1 and 1?
Okay. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So I chose as my first Mega here. This is Mega Starmie. So I assumed because of the likes of in the previous Legends game, we had an evolution for Quillfish that used the advantage of the 3D model. Because when you're doing sprites, you want to focus on the art aspects, but when you're doing 3D models, you want to, okay, what could we do with a model? Quillfish's evolution in that game just made its quills longer. Overquill is a disgrace. So because of that, I was like, what if Starmie had really long legs and also red shoes? So this is my Mega Starmie. Just extends the legs downwards. It looks a little bit like a Starwalker. I didn't mean for that intentionally, but I didn't think of any moves or like abilities. I don't know if you had lore for yours, but
not very extensively.
Okay. Well, this is what my design I'm locking in for Mega Starmie. gotta open up their eye and have really long legs. So I try to put them in. I like his big red boots. You should. That's the important part of his design. I put them in like Pokedex order. So your next one should be your Mega Clefable.
Clefable. Okay, Clefable. I mean, admittedly, I think one of the themes you're gonna notice with a lot of my Mega Evolutions is I kind of went for like pretty safe Mega Evolution ideas. So, for example, occasionally Mega Evolutions, they really kind of do something out of the ordinary or really kind of swerve with the Pokemon's visual direction. I just kind of went for like Mega Evolution-y visual directions.
Right. This
is
what
sense of, like, you know, like Mega Scizor. I was talking with a friend earlier to like Mega Scizor isn't reinventing the wheel. It's just kind of like Scizor.
What if
know,
it was
like,
cool?
More like frills and stuff. So Mega Clefable, first thing I noticed, you know, Clefable has wings. I remember as a kid, I didn't realize Clefable had wings for some reason. I guess I was stupid. But I love Clefable. So I, you know, just decided to kind of like give it bigger wings. And also I decided to make the tuft on its head a little bit like more pronounced and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that came to me.
Did you mean to make it look like a crescent moon? Is that a deliberate choice because of the...
Oh, shit, that's a cool idea.
Because the Clefable's tied to the moon? I'm going to pretend that was intentional.
I was worried you're gonna be like, did you mean to make that look like poop? And I was like, no.
It looks like shit.
I just kind of made it a little bit frillier. I mean, honestly, I'm not really imagining it as a crescent moon shape. I'm imagining more as just kind of like a more like elaborate frill, a little puffier.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like, actually, you know, one thing I would really like on Mega Clefable is kind of like some Sailor Moon shit where there is a crescent moon on its on its
with them
like
to lean more into the alien aspect of Clefable, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
So if we're continuing the Pokedex order, I saw that you chose one of the starters, so I decided to choose one as well. Not all of my these are just mock-ups, so not all of them are drawings. So this is what I think Mega Feraligatr is gonna look like.
Okay.
I think they're gonna put him more on the ground. I think he's gonna become quadrupedal, and I think he's become a lot more flat. Something like Skeledirge in the newer game. This is my Mega Feraligatr.
Okay.
Maybe it's like water dark. I think they kind of need to give the Jodomons additional secondary types.
I think that's pretty safe. That's a pretty safe bet. They'll probably give it like water dark. I think water dark's a good thing because I mean, Feraligatr already has moves like crunch and stuff.
Yeah, and Gators are inherently evil.
Yeah, they are just disgusting, worthless creatures.
It's the anti-Skeledirge, you know. It's water and dark versus fire and ghost.
Yeah.
So this is one of my starters, the Johto starters that are in the game. I picked Feraligatr.
I should have thought about like what kind of overpowered bullshit is my next starter gonna have? Like, 'cause I think some of these Pokemon are. Well, so this is my Mega Meganium.
Right. What type would you have this be? Do you think?
I mean, I wasn't thinking about it that much, but I'd probably say like I'd say like Grass Fairy is a safe bet.
I do, by the way, probably, like, because we made these images square, that yours really fills the frame, and it kind of looks like the Gen 1 sprites, where, like, Rhyhorn and, like, Kangaskhan are really compact.
I noticed that because, it's definitely hard to, like, build, I mean, because I'm not much of a visual artist.
Surely some sprite artist is watching this and can make sprite versions of our Mega mock-ups. You guys are welcome to make fan art of any of these characters.
I think Mega Meganium's it would probably be a lot less stocky than the way I drew it, but I mean I think this is also like a pretty simple idea. Like I just kind of made the flower on its neck a lot more pronounced. I have the idea of it like having several layers of petals and stuff, and having like I don't know flowery bits. I don't know. I haven't taken biology in years, so I forget like what all those points are.
It does seem like your Mega designs are like the design principles, but more like adding more to it.
Yeah, because that's pretty safe. I mean, like in the terms of if I wanted to take a guess, like what's the word? Make the safest bet I could on like what Mega Meganium would look like. This is definitely more close to what I would do. Just because like like Pokemon but more is pretty consistently a way they do things. Not always though. That's part of the fun of Mega Evolution. But this is definitely just Mega Meganium but more. It also has the longer what's it called? The longer antennae. Yeah. And regarding its typing, I could definitely see it as like Grass Fairy, maybe Grass Dragon, which I mean both of those typings have a little bit of a what's the word? fucking what's it problems with them. Maybe also I'm trying to think, like I could totally see them making Meganium into like a chlorophyll sweeper or something like that.
Yeah,
like kind of doing something like that in the same way like Mega Venusaur. But I mean, they might want to do is give it something unique, because the thing is nowadays all these Pokemon, they give them like crazy ass moves. Because I remember like Mega is it Mega, not Swampert, Mega. What is Oshawott? Samurott. Mega Samurott. Like it has a move that does damage and also lays spikes. So I'm kind of thinking like what kind of like ridiculous crap are they going to give this Pokemon? But I can't think of anything right now. Maybe something that like an attack that also sets a Leech Seed or something.
Right.
Anyway.
In this timeline, not only are we getting not only are we getting the item Dragonite Knight for the Mega Dragonite, we're also getting Mega Meganium as a Pokemon. Just following that naming convention. But those are two of the starters. I wanted to go with, because I think you also chose a Unovamon, so I wanted to pick one as well. But I didn't want to go with Emboar because I feel like I already did a starter. And I'm kind of retreading a previous idea, but my idea, I have my explanation here for Mega Excadrill. See, in black and white, Excadrill seems to be the same height as the trainer. And when you play the game as a kid, you're like, oh, Excadrill's huge. And then you watch the anime, and it's a lot shorter. I mean, a lot more in perspective. Excadrill's height is like 2'4". You play it in the 3D games, and it's so much smaller than you think Excadrill would be, unless Clay is really short. So these are accurate height Excadrills just for comparison. I believe Mega Excadrill is going to be a lot taller and thin. I think it's going to be a big monster, is basically what I'm going for here. That's the mock-up.
Yeah, it's funny. It reminds me of how like Lucario is like 3'11" or something.
Yeah. And Bowser, or not, Charizard's like 5'7".
5'7". Yeah, I kind of wish I knew that you were doing a lot of these kind of like PNG mock-ups, because there was like something I was thinking of doing, but I ended up not doing it.
Oh yeah.
But no, I didn't want to like be like okay, no, I didn't want to like accident like on the off chance like get you bothered by like doing something.
I'm taking this very seriously.
Okay.
Now this is for comedic effect. I mean, this is the segment on the show. Your next one is your Novamon, your
Mega Chandelure. Once again, a pretty safe bet. Like, okay, you have a Chandelier Pokemon, let's make it into a bigger Chandelier. So I kind of went with that. Honestly, one of the most fun things about this, and it's not like I did a super good job, it was kind of fun like trying to draw Chandelure, because it's kind of tricky to do that with all its like small bits and bobs. But yeah, so I kind of imagined it, you know, like the base Chandelier on the top is the same. Although honestly, if I had to redo this, I'd probably make it 6 flames on both layers. I think that would make it because I like there's not many Mega Evolutions where like a big portion of the Pokemon itself is the same, because I'm kind of doing that here, where like basically the top half is just basically what Chandelier already is. So that's something I would probably do differently.
It does look more like pumpkin-esque here, very spooky.
Yeah, I added a few extra little like creases around just to kind of, I don't know, like
how many candles does a Minora have? Is that 12?
Minora, I think, has 12. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. No, Hanukkah is either like 12 or 8 days. I forget.
It is 8 days, right? So maybe it's 8 candles.
Oh yeah, it's eight candles then.
All right, so we got additional ones, but you know the idea still stands.
Chandelier, but as a Minora, like okay,
yeah,
okay.
It'll please a lot of audiences. So then this is a question I asked when we looked at the list of megas before, is if there is a Mega Pyroar, would it look like the male design or female design? So really what I did here was just kind of design or combine the two. The mains here, it has this little hand grabber thing that's just a very long slick, like that Superman slick that female Pyroar has. And then the like brown tufts... The brown tufts are going to change to fire, more covered in flame. Just imagine flame emanating from this very evil eyes, because as we know, all megas are evil. So combining both of the mains, sort of a unisex Pyroar, because I don't think they'll make gendered versions of the mega, if we're believing.
Yeah,
I think they'd probably just make one that converges both of them together.
Okay. That's fair enough. I mean, you probably, yeah.
Pyroar is normal fire, right?
Yeah, it is. I think fire normal, actually.
Yeah, I guess we'd keep that, because making it pure fire would make it worse, technically. Because I thought, like, oh, maybe fire fighting, maybe fire dark, but I feel like those have been done over and over again. So we'll just keep it as is. I feel like only really the starters and Gyarados, I suppose, need to change their type. Do we know real quick?
There's some other ones that change their type, but so far.
Oh, dragon flying. Okay,
Dragon flying. It's the same.
Right.
Mega Altaria's Dragon Fairy. I know that.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. This is a Kalos mod. Make it Fire Fairy. Add little sparkle effects around it. Yeah, why not? So your next mock-up. Okay, this
Grandpa.
Yes.
This is one I kind of had fun with just because this was like the second one I drew. So I was like, man, how the fuck? Because the first thing I drew was Clefable. And then I started drawing Grandpa. And I'm like,
every time you try and draw another Pokemon, you keep accidentally drawing Clefable.
Well, no. That's funny though. I basically drew Clefable at first, and I'm like, okay, this wasn't that bad because Clefable's a pretty easy Pokemon to draw, and then I changed to Drampa. And all things considered, Drampa isn't that hard to draw, but it's definitely a lot trickier. So I was like thinking like, oh my gosh, how am I even gonna get to this? So I was a little worried at first, but like I decided to just kind of once again do something pretty safe, just Drampa. Just but with more frills. So I decided to like really increase its hair. So I gave it a more pronounced beard. I gave it a more pronounced hairstyle. And I kind of noticed, and this is just something I leaned into because I was having fun with it. Like I decided, because I was drawing it sort of from the side and stuff. Like I kind of was thinking, like because Drampa was looking to the side, it kind of reminded me of like the helm or like the heads you see on like Viking ships.
Oh.
So I kind of leaned into that, and it kind of ended up looking cool.
I like that he's like gazing up at the stars too, because he can't fly.
That's the thing. Maybe he's a flying type, but I kind of imagine him, and this is kind of cool, like a Pokemon that's designed after like the looks of Viking ships or whatever. So I just decided to kind of like fit that shape with the arms, which are a little bit more frilly, and the tail, which is a little bit taller. I kind of like what I ended up going for.
Really like
I kind of wish Mega Drampa kind of looked something like that. We'll see what it looks like.
Maybe statistically, well, I don't know actually. I'm talking out of my ass. Maybe one of these designs could be correct if they make any of these megas. There's a possibility one of us will do like bingo rules. Every time they show one of these megas off where we experience them, we'll be like, oh, that's just like the design, or just like the general idea of the design. My final design, this one is less of a drawing and more of another. I wanted to do drawings for all of them, but then I thought of ideas for them. This is my final one, my Kalosmon, my Mega Malamar. And the idea started initially with like, oh, what if I just made Malamar upside down, and then like this part is the head to go with like Inkay, make it more look like its previous evolution, sort of like Mega Dragonite. But then I saw someone already did that, so I was like, okay, I have this upside down one, and it was initially just these two, but then I like how they look together, so I just kept expanding it. So I kind of like it being this nebulous void of tentacles that does have maybe like a biblically accurate angel. We have more of these eyes all around it, but this is, and uses these tendrils for walking. I think this is my Mega Malamar. And Malamar is Psychic Dark, right? We'll keep that. That's probably
Dark
fine.
Psychic, yeah.
Yeah, then it'll float around, because it needs to... Inkay floats, Malamar, I think it's 3D modeled, stands, and also stands here. So we'll import more of those Inkay things into it, because also there's an upside down one here, which is how you evolve Inkay into Malamar. That's where I sit with this design. I'm glad you really like my designs.
Pretty funny.
They gotta be right, some of them. And then that's really all I had to say about that. I don't know if it's one Malamar or if it's like a bunch of them. Because my initial idea was that like, oh, it's Malamar and then a bunch of Inkay are stuck to it. Like they kind of form sort of like wishy-washy. Like they all form together. But maybe it's just one. Maybe they're just morphing together like jellyfish. Because there's some jellyfish that don't die. They just respawn. Like when they're hurt enough to die, they'll just kind of change their physiology to make them a kid again and basically start over. So I wanted to go like, okay, let's make him like an Inkay again, like he goes back because Mega Evolution breaks him so much. Because I remember back in the day when they showed off, when Mega Evolution was in the game, people were reading into the Pokedex entries and they're like, Mega Evolution's actually evil. It actually hurts all of the Pokemon. I don't know how true that still is, but...
I think there's like a certain thing, like there's like arguably it hurts the Pokemon, but the thing is you need the trainer's bond is what makes the Pokemon like handle it or whatever. Right. I forget.
Changes out of friendship. Is sacrificing for us. And that was my final Mega design. Your final Mega design is from Gen 8 Galar.
Mega Phalanx.
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, I think it's a pretty safe bet that a Pokemon like Phalanx, like it's not going to have a Mega Evolution where all the Phalanx are just kind of like just have more spikes on them and stuff. I think that's not the kind of thing they would do.
The one in
for
front gets really
like
big.
Phalanx. I mean, so, I mean, I just imagine like, you know, all the Phalanx fighting together in kind of a different way. So I just imagine like, oh, let's just do it Goomba Odyssey style, where they're just kind of on top of each other. I think that's kind of funny. If not that, like I imagine potentially, you know, that scene with the raccoons in Total Drama where they all turn into the giant.
You referred to
like,
this before, yes.
That's more than meets the eye. That's potentially what I think they'll do, something like that. I think it's just gonna be like the Phalanx like all together, like standing on top of each other, or like I don't know, like just doing something kind of visually comedic. You know?
So
what I mean?
do the forms of the individual Phalanx change at all, or do they kind of just change?
No,
position?
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be like Mega Kangaskhan, where like they basically look the same. Maybe the lead Phalanx has like an extra thing on him, but I'm not expecting that. Yeah, no, I mean it's gonna be like a Mega Kangaskhan situation where like the base Pokemon really doesn't look that different. It's just a different kind of thing.
Right. Just remove that baby. Get that baby out of there.
I'm trying to think, like, what's Phalanx's ability? It's probably like, I think it's Defiant or something. No, why do I think it's Defiant?
See, this is the side of Pokemon that I don't know nearly as much about.
I mean, it's not like Phalanx is that good, so it's not like I ever really had to like learn what ability.
That's why it needs a Mega.
Oh, it has Battle Armor. Oh, it does have Defiant. Okay,
all we need is one Mega to be shown off that isn't on the list for it to kind of crumble. Because I don't think the odds of it being a lucky guess for Dragonite, I don't think that's impossible. But now we have our 10 designs, and we have that Dragology, I believe. So there's 14 left that we haven't covered.
Immediately when they said there was going to be like new Mega Evolutions, I was thinking Mega Dragonite was going to be one. Because you already have one for Tyranitar, you have one for Salamence, you have one for Metagross, you have one for Garchomp. Yeah. You basically have one for like all the other pseudos, at least up until Gen 5. Flygon's not a pseudo. Tisk.
Sorry. I just know that's the one that people are always mad about.
Yeah. I mean, because Flygon could use one, because Flygon's like just like a worse Salamence, or at least it's not.
Well, you
really
have cool dragons, you just want them to look more epicer and cooler.
So, I mean, honestly, Mega Flygon would be kind of clutch. I wish we did have that, but we don't.
Well, as far as Pokemon Go. We're halfway through the list. Maybe we'll come back to this idea, maybe ahead of when Legends comes out. But we have our 10 Mega Designs, we have that leaked one, and we have the official Dragonite one. That wraps up all of our segments and coverage this week. I would like to go over my schedule for the next week real quick. The Total Drama Island online video should go up before the Ultraverse bet stream on Thursday, I believe, if that's the 31st, because that's normally when I upload those. A couple days, or after a couple days of Donkey Kong. And then I'll be streaming all weekend, 7 hours, 12 hours, 7 hours, covering the yearly massive EVO tournament event. And we'll likely have a lot of EVO coverage to recount when we return here next Monday. So I hope you're down to hear all about EVO, because it's probably all I'll have to talk about.
It's going to have to be next Tuesday, but, like, yeah, we can do that.
Oh, you can't do Monday? We're doing Super Tuesday?
We're going to do Super Tuesday next week, yeah.
All right. That means more Donkey Kong? I don't know. I'll figure out something to do that day. But do you... Well, let's get the weekly Pockettail Island update.
Just, you know, same stuff I've been working on. Actually, one of the segments of the video I'm doing in DaVinci Resolve, which is fine. It's not like super bad, but there are a lot of really fucking annoying things about DaVinci Resolve that are kind of driving me nuts. But you know, it's still fun to kind of try new things. But it does kind of piss me the fuck off.
He's fucking pissed. I hate this. Well, we have that lined up. I think this was pretty efficient. I think we got through it best we could. We just had a lot of stuff to cover this week. I would be worried. I think the reason we were leaning into other stuff is like, oh man, there's nothing to really cover today. I think what I need to do is purposefully cover bullshit. Like really go out there and watch videos with like 10K views and be like, all right, let's cover this. We might as well. And
yeah, for sure.
But for now, I have been your co-parent, BH Ultra.
And I have been your co-parent, Switchy.
And I'm hanging up. I got some more stuff to film.
Bye.
Oh, right, music. You guys ever hear this one? Real quick, YouTube chat. Keep reminding me to watch Hilda. Maybe I'll watch an episode and then I'll just give a little update next week. I forgot.